Hey, folks, let's talk about the law. In this country, according to our Constitution, we have three branches of government. We have the executive branch, which is the president, his cabinet. We have the legislative branch, which is the lawmakers, that's Congress. And then we have the judiciary. That's judges, cops, etc. Our system's not working anymore. It'd take you about 14 and a half seconds to Google search law enforcement, and I don't mean the cops, I mean the enforcement of laws. It's not happening correctly. We got, excuse me, there was some guy got arrested the other day. He's got like 54 arrests. Bailed him out. Damn. Maybe I should quit smoking. We've got the legislative branch, the House of Representatives and the Senate, and they're obviously not doing their job because they're supposed to represent the people. They're not doing it. They're not representing us. They're representing themselves. They are writing laws to benefit themselves. I mean, I think it's pretty obvious when you start looking at how much money they make. Prime example, AOC, that donkey looking chick. When she got elected, and there's a whole story behind that, we know she was a bartender. There's some real interesting pictures of her from the bartender days. But she gets elected to the House of Representatives, and she gets to Washington, and the first thing she does is start crying and bitching about she doesn't have enough money to get an apartment in D.C. So she shows up to D.C. and she's broke, essentially. People have weird definitions of broke. When I say broke, I mean I can put my life savings in the palm of my hand. But she shows up to Washington broke. Well, fast forward just a few years of being in Congress, and she's worth $26 million. How the fuck does that happen? Nancy Pelosi spends 47, 48 years in Congress. That's her only job. $175,000 a year. She's worth a couple $100 million. Oh, well, that was just some good investment on her husband's part. Her husband? You mean the guy that got caught with the homosexual prostitute and the hammer? Yeah, that husband. Apparently, the day before Nancy voted on investigating Visa, the credit card people, Visa. Well, apparently her husband made a strategic financial move the day before. Sold off all their Visa stock the day before the Visa stock tanked because Nancy opened up an investigation. That's how it works up there. Insider trading is supposed to be a crime. But we don't have anybody enforcing the laws anymore. Oh, yeah, if you're walking down the street smoking a joint, yeah, you're absolutely going to get arrested. Well, depends on where you're at. Here in Georgia, they throw you under the jail. Absolutely. But if you go to Congress and you do a bunch of insider trading and you make millions of dollars, no big deal. It's strategic financial planning. Our legal system's all fucked up, y'all. Tore up from the floor up. They are not representing us. They are not enacting laws that we want enacted. They are the judicial and executive branches are not enforcing the laws because they're all criminals. All of them. Now, I don't want to say all of them. All of them. There's a couple of guys out there. I like Nick Freitas. He seems to have his head on his shoulders correctly. Thomas Massey been taking a lot of hits lately, and I just don't know about him. There may be some backstory to him that we don't all know about, but I haven't looked into it enough to be able to say anything. But he sure seems to have a good head on his shoulders. So not all of them, but, all of them. They're not doing their jobs. They're not doing what we, the people, told them to do. The Constitution tells us very clearly, that we have the right, the duty, and the obligation to ensure our government is held to account, that our wishes are to be enforced, and if they don't do it, we, the people, are supposed to go up there and remove them from office and elect new guardians for our future. That just doesn't seem to be happening, though, does it? You can't get the lawmakers and the law enforcers to do their job. So where does it fall? Where does the law actually reside? Resides in we, the people. We are the legal enforcement of this country. We're supposed to tell the legislative body what to do and what laws to enforce or to enact. Then we're supposed to tell the judicial which ones to enforce. And the executive branch is supposed to get the job done. That's the way it's supposed to work. But it's not working like that. And if you think it is, you're wildly misinformed. I hate to say it, but it needs to be said. It's time for we the people to stand up and remove these sons of bitches in Washington by force if necessary. I think if enough of us got up to get on the steps of Congress and said, get the fuck out, they'd get the fuck out. Or at least most of them would. But, these pedophiles, they're entrenched. They've got power. They damn sure don't want to give it up. As much as I don't like the idea of having a violent revolution in this country, because it would be so ugly. We've got so many guns. We've got so many people that have guns and maybe don't have enough training to use them properly. It would just be messy and ugly, and it would be 10 years of our life trying to put it all back together, if not longer. But I think we're at that point. We're going to have to bite the bullet, not to be punny, but we're going to have to bite the bullet and handle things ourselves. We, the people. That's the way the country was set up by our founding fathers. Let me paraphrase the Constitution. If the shit gets really bad and they turn into tyrants, grab your gun and go remove them. That's what the Constitution really says. Put it in some more modern terminology. If they're up there screwing the pooch or the babies, go take them out. That's why we gave you the Second Amendment. I can hear TJ right now. I wish it didn't have to be this way. But like my grandfather said, wish in one hand and shit in the other. See which one fills up quicker. The time is now. Right now. Now is the time for all good men to come to the aid of their country. Grab your musket, grab your powder, and let's put this country back together. Because we the people. It's us. The responsibility falls on us. So it's time to step up. Let's pick a date. You know, Donald Trump's wanting to have a big celebration for the 4th of July. What else could be more appropriate for our 250th anniversary than to remove tyrants and install new guardians for our future? Read the Constitution, folks. It gives us all the authority we need.